Hello, good morning, and today we are talking about the winter blues. So, this is going to be a super quick look at how to kind of get ourselves, we're kind of trudging through the end of winter, and maybe you're somewhere where the sun is shining bright, but I think a lot of us are really, and I'm speaking to me, is really dealing with a long winter, which is awesome. I love it. I love all like the snow and the rain. We need it, but to be quite honest, it's hard. Like it can be really hard on us emotionally, and it can be hard on us just even like physically. So today I really wanted just to talk about just a few things that I use and that I love to get myself out of these kind of winter blues. So, but first I really wanted to address as well is there's a difference between like winter blues and then really like seasonal affective disorder. And so if we're talking about seasonal affective disorder where it's a real depression, please get help from a professional. These are just ideas, probably things that you have used before, but ideas that have worked for me, worked for the clients that I have worked with. But I really don't want to downplay the severity of what some of us are feeling or could be feeling. So, with that being said, I know for me, I feel like I'm kind of in this like polar vortex of the snow's almost above my windows, and I'm finding myself staying up too late watching Netflix, which is my son. Literally, you guys, he hasn't been to school in 3 weeks, and it's 3 weeks. So the first week he got really sick, which we're going to talk about our immune system. The second week was like our ski break, and then now this third week we've had zero school because of all the snow. So with that, our schedule is off and I'm staying up later. I'm sleeping in a little bit more than I normally do, and it's causing me to kind of feel like a hibernating bear, like a little bit grouchy, a little bit just like in this kind of funk. And that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about what I'm doing currently to get myself out of this like grizzly bear mode. So sometimes when we are affected by the long winter and season changes, we can crave more carbs. And what that can do is cause like weight gain. We tend to, and not always, sleep too much, and that we're just not staying on our normal schedule. So, what our body is actually doing is that craving of the carbohydrates, and it can be a lot of different things. It can be just like not feeling yourself. It could be and actually what was interesting, that the research that I read too is that this like seasonal depression or seasonal um, disorder really affects women much more than it does men. Actually, 1 in 4. So, and especially women that are at the childbearing ages. So I know for sure, one, it's a lot of hormones, but when you have little kids and you're stuck inside and it's gray outside, it really does affect us. It affects us emotionally, it affects us physically, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves kind of like craving junkier carbohydrate food, which increases our serotonin. So that's like your body's way of like, I need more happiness, I need more serotonin. But then it causes weight gain, and then we get more lethargic, and then it's just like this cascade of issues that can all of a sudden, when we hit spring, we're like, dang it, like I want to be in great shape, and now the sun is out, I feel better, but now I have all this kind of like work to do to get myself back to where I'm feeling strong, and kind of I'm back in that like fighting mode. So these are some of the things that I hope that we can work on together. I hope some of the things resonate with you. And the first thing I want to, if you do have a pen and a piece of paper, is just write down at the top, be a serotonin seeker. And so a serotonin seeker is, instead of like the dopamine, so a dopamine response is like when we eat like a donut. So our body's like, hey, I need more serotonin. So I want you to eat this donut because I know it's going to give me a quick dopamine release. And that's, will satisfy that like emotional lift for about 10 minutes or something. But what I want us to really think about, and what I've been really focused on lately, is being a serotonin seeker. So I'm going to go through just about 10 tips. If you look down at all the stuff I brought, you're going to be like, that's 100 tips. But I'm going to go through them really fast and just tell you some of the things that help me with being that serotonin seeker. So the first thing is, no matter how cold it is outside, is look for sunlight first thing in the morning. Or it can be anytime throughout the day, but it's really the most effective if you can get out in the sun, look up to the sun. And of course you want to be careful with your eyes and sunscreen and all of that. But the early morning sun, especially the winter sun, is not as harsh on our skin. So when you just get outside, you can even close your eyes or lightly open them, but get the sun facing straight at your face. And if you can, do just a few like big breath, like almost like sun salutations, but just, these forward folds, bending over, lifting up, and then really lift your hands up. And your neighbors can think you're crazy. It's fine, because you're going to be happy and they're going to be stuck inside going, look at my crazy neighbor. You can imagine what my neighbors think of me all the time. So when we're thinking about that, what happens is it not only releases the serotonin, it also helps with the melatonin and that, like, helping us sleep at night. So the more sun that we can get in the early morning, I try to do like 5 minutes. Honestly, I have not been good at this, and that's why probably I'm feeling a little like, so like yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, the sun is out. I don't care what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my dog out. And it was amazing. And I was like, this is all you need, Nikki. It doesn't matter if it's snowing, just get your stuff on and get outside. And so I encourage us to really be that, like, the sun seekers as well. And then kind of throughout the day, as much as possible, just go outside just for a few minutes, even if you can just walk around the block, take a quick like walk or run. If you're somewhere that doesn't, I just put yesterday, I was like, you have yak tracks, like put your yak tracks on and go for a little jog. So I'm just encouraging all of us to, even though the days are shorter, which is a big reason why we're affected by these kind of like winter blues, is because our days are shorter. So I really want to encourage us to however the weather is, even if it's cloudy, you're still getting the sun. So just go outside as much as possible, look where the sun should be, and kind of breathe through that. Okay, so exercise is the next one. With studies, they really don't know why exercise is so helpful when it comes to SAD, the seasonal affective disorder, or winter blues. But what the studies show is exercise actually increases your sensitivity to light. So even when you're exercising indoors, it increases that sensitivity to light and helps you with the serotonin. We all know that, right? We get that like workout high, and then it helps you sleep better at night. So putting exercise in, and what I think is really important for me, and maybe for you as well, is if you normally work out 80%, 70% of the year at a 5 a.m. class or a 6 a.m. class, keep yourself on that same routine. And because when it gets cold, we're like, I don't really want to go out. So that's why we do have like on-demand live stream. We have all in-studio classes. But if you don't feel like going out, try to stick on that same workout schedule. And then usually in the summer, right, we go for more walks. We're outside. We're walking our dog more at night. So stay on that schedule and give yourself really tough love. Like, hey, this is important to me. Literally, I have dropped in my exercise routine, and I still work out like once a day, but usually myself, I try to walk 2 or 3 times through the day, at least like 5 minutes. I've not been doing that. So that is something that I'm going to do, and hopefully it's something that is helpful to you. Okay, the next one is kind of exciting, and it's coffee. So this was a huge study. 51,000 women studied over 24,000 years. No, 24 years. That women who drink coffee suffer less from this seasonal blues or the seasonal depression. They're cautious to say it's not a prescription for depression, but it is something that in the winter, when we're feeling a little funky, a nice latte can really brighten up our day. So coffee is one. Next is wash your hands. And so what I was saying with Kai is Kai got really sick. Like it was crazy how sick he got, and he puts his fingers in his mouth all the time. It drives me insane. And so what studies show for sure is coming out of any type of sickness, we're more likely to suffer from sadness, depression, lethargic, kind of hard to get right. It's just hard to get motivated when you're sick or when you're coming out of being sick. So the best way to combat viruses, all kinds of like any of like the cold, flus, COVID, that kind of thing, is being really good at washing our hands. I also have, this is like my favorite, it's On Guard from doTERRA. It smells delicious, so it really makes you want to use it all the time, because you can't always wash your hands when you go to the store or whatever, but you just spray it on your hands, and it's all essential oils, and it also makes you happy. So washing your hands as much as possible, and then having some as we kind of, it's not moving out of COVID, because COVID will always be there, but I encourage us to use a little more like organic and healthy. Good old fashioned like soap and water is really great. And then if you're into it, it's On Guard. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of start going through all of my, and then social. I don't want to skip that, because for sure, if you're feeling in the dumps, if you go out with a girlfriend and you go for a walk, you go for a cup of coffee, you go whatever, for just asking. And I know sometimes in the winter we're like, I just want to be in like my Snuggie and I don't really want to go out. But that's where tough love comes in, because friendships are really, really important when you're feeling down in the dumps. Okay, so now I'm going to go through just a few things that I use on the regular to help with when I'm winter down in the dumps. So first is meditation. I use Insight Timer. If you look at it on your app, I'll share all these on my Coach Nikki Warren Instagram too. I'll try to just do a quick reel with everything, but Insight Timer is, I just set the timer on there and it plays like little beautiful music. But meditation is something, and I open the windows, because when I wake up in the morning, everything's like all closed and it's all cooled. So I open up the windows, I set my little meditation pillow right down by the window, and just do like, for me, probably like 5 minutes. I'd like to do more, but that's usually what I do. Okay, so from there, then really thinking about increasing your vitamin C. So lemon water in the morning is a great way to increase your vitamin C. Actually, Chris, you bought this for me, and this is my favorite. It's vitamin C. So it's not just vitamin C that we take in our mouth, but it's like making your skin feel and look beautiful. Your skin is like is one of your biggest organs. And so if we can keep our skin fresh in the winter, that also really helps us with the winter blues. So this is Derma E, and again, I'll post it, but if you guys can see it, and then it's got your vitamin C, and it's like a serum that gives you like a nice little glow. Thank you, Chris, for that gift. And then, so from there, when you're thinking about your vitamin C, thinking about some of the micronutrients that will help as well. So vitamin D is something we should really be taking maybe all year. I really don't take it that much in the summer, but I definitely take it consistently in the fall, winter, and spring. So the vitamin D, sometimes your vitamin D will be in your vitamins, but a lot of times it's just not enough. So adding more vitamin D. And then I love ashwagandha. So you definitely cannot read this. It's like so little, and it's just like a cool little company from New York, but just ashwagandha powder. So I actually put a scoop of ashwagandha in my coffee with a scoop of like archaea mushrooms. So mushrooms are really good to build your immune system. They're really good for helping like like for like building muscle. They do amazing things. So I put 1 scoop of mushrooms, 1 scoop of ashwagandha, and cinnamon in my coffee, and that's kind of like my morning like little yummy thing. And then I do my vitamin D with my chlorophyll in one little thing of water, and then I just drink it throughout the day. So I don't like, sometimes I take it in a shot if I want to, or I just put it in like a little jar and I take that throughout the day. So those are kind of like my tonics for this like seasonal funk. It's really important to keep up with your greens. So I like to put a scoop of like easy bean green. This is Aura, but you can use like, you know, any type of greens. Just make sure that they're organic. A lot of times we're not having like all of these crazy greens every single day. So it's just really helpful to put a scoop in your water or your smoothie. And just making sure that you're getting enough like iron, all of those, the vitamin B, the nutrients that come from these cruciferous vegetables. Vitamin B is something that I really believe that we should all take, whether you're plant-based or whether you are an omnivore, you eat meat. Vitamin B is really, really important and has been like known in deficiencies to cause like schizophrenia. And so it's really important that we're getting enough vitamin B, and especially vitamin B12, as we're kind of feeling in the dumps. But I do take this all year long. So that's one thing I take all year. And then omegas. So omegas are, you can get them. I do chia seed pudding every morning. You can take omegas. This one is called Head and Heart, and it's plant-based omegas. It's from algae, and make sure it has the DHA. So those are the things. And then also with supplements, you guys, please check with your healthcare providers. These are just things that I like myself. Aura, we love the Aura brand because they're third-party tested. But just looking at whatever it is that you're taking, just be really careful, because supplements can be full of junk. So we don't want that. We don't want crappy supplements. We want to spend money on things that actually work. Okay, I know this is a lot, and I didn't mean to talk so much, but I'm going to leave with just a couple more things. So a gratitude journal is really, really helpful when we're feeling in the dumps, and this is called the 5-minute journal. I think you use this too, Chris, but Coral bought it for me. And it's just a night and a morning, just, hey, what did you learn today? What are 3 things that you're grateful for? And it really encourages that just gratitude. Okay, then I'm going to leave you guys with some like makeup stuff that I like. So it's such a weird name. It's called like the Drunk Elephant. I think it's the Drunk Elephant, if you guys can see that. And so it's like a tent for your face. And it's got all kinds of really good like serums as well. And Coral actually bought this one for me. Probably everything I have is like, and especially anything that's beauty, is like my friends buy it for me. I'm like, thank you. It's so nice that we share with each other, right? Like, hey girl, you need this. So this is like, it just kind of gives you a nice little tan to your face. The other one that I use for like a body tan is called Tan Luxe. And this is for the body. And all I do is put a little bit of it with my lotion. And then it just gives you like a nice little tan. It makes you feel a little bit better when you're, I don't know, for me at least it does. And then I live on this doTERRA. It's adaptive. So EFAT actually gave me this, a coach in Reno, and I am addicted to it. It's like, anytime that I'm going to go into a conference that's a little bit stressful, or that I'm just feeling a little bit in the dumps, I just keep this with me all the time and put it on my hands, put it here so then I can smell it. And it smells beautiful, kind of like a little hippie, but it smells yummy. And then the next thing is just Glossier. So this is what I use on my eyebrows. And if we're feeling a little, sometimes like a nice little like eyebrow lift, a little tan kind of helps. So those are my things that I wanted to share with you guys today. Hopefully it was helpful. Some things that I know that can be really, really good for us is red light therapy. If you have a red light that you use, I would love to, because I'm trying to look to buy one. So I haven't purchased one yet, but like light boxes are really good. So if you're interested in that, look for like red light therapy if you're in like Seattle or somewhere that's darker and you're not in the sun a lot. And I think that's it. So I just wanted to just recap really quick. When we are in kind of this end push towards a new season in winter, it's normal to feel a little like, kind of like a little grizzly bear where you're grouchy and, you want to sleep more and eat more carbs. But what I encourage us all to do is really think about getting sun in the morning, is being that like light seeker, whether it's a light box or the sunshine, exercising, drinking coffee maybe, or maybe yerba mate tea, which is my favorite. Wash your hands, so really keeping our immune system strong, and then having great social connections. And then all these other like little like supplements and things that are fun, they are just like little pieces that might help you. But in general, have good friends, be a friend seeker, be a social seeker. I know it's not easy in the winter, but it is really important.